John Wetmore in the house. What's up, brother?
What is up, dude?
Let's
I'm
go.
good over here.
Go. A few weeks out till Impact Effect 24.
Yeah, I'm getting excited, man. We got some invites going out. We got some more people coming, getting some interest, and excited to see. I've had some other speakers reach out, some in chat, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of connecting with new people.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to it, man.
It's
gonna be
really
a fun
cool.
event.
It's cool to hear that because it's cool to see kind of the back end side of it, right? Like we talk about relationships, we talk about deep human connection.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see the speakers leading that way and doing it,
Yeah, it's true. It's a new circle. I think we all think alike, and it's like, hey, there's other people like us. Cool.
Yeah.
So it's been neat.
I'm excited, man. I your sizzle reel from 8%. I saw we posted that.
Yeah.
You just had me fired up, dude. I was like, man, I want the conference to be tomorrow.
I love it. I love it.
How was that experience? Like coming off that energy? I mean, you're probably rolling right into Impact Effect. I know you're doing something in Memphis right before as well. Like,
yeah.
Man,
I got a ton going on, dude. We have quite a few events I'm speaking at and training at, doing things. There's a lot of momentum, dude. And I think when you have results of helping enough people, like it sort of becomes contagious, and I'm just a dude who went out, worked hard, and then shared what I did with others, and they had success. I think just keeping it as simple as it is and giving people hope to be able to do things that they see for a vision. I enjoy doing. I enjoy simplifying things because I don't think any of this stuff is that complicated as some make it seem. And I don't know, something's catching, dude. Put out a book this year and people like it. So we get orders every day. I'm signing them all by hand. You know what I mean? Everyone is going out because I'm like, I wrote a book. It's weird to even say. You know what I mean?
So for the person who wants to do all that and hasn't, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, you're like, it's weird, dude. I wrote a book and like it's actually me and my words and like how I talk and like what was that like for you for some of those folks who want to do that in their leadership journey? Was that just something
pull the
where
trigger?
Just pull the trigger,
man. I've sat on it for like a decade, maybe not quite, maybe 8 years, where I had a lot of people just as I was kind of coming up through the sales side and then started building the agency, started sharing my story and just being really vulnerable with the path. And I didn't have a path where I didn't come into this thing killing it in sales. Be clear. I was a disaster, and just being honest about my journey with people, dude. I had to work on myself a lot. That's why I love these like leadership and development type stuff. I live it because I am broken and was way more broken before.
Listen to that humbleness right there, though. Like, and that's what I love about you, man. Is that's where I think you and I align so much. It's like when we talk, it's the truth. Like it's just it is what it is, and there's vulnerability in that, but there's also confidence in that, right? Like when you say that, you're like, I'm broken and I still am, and I'm just trying to do more and get better. Like, there's a level of confidence, but there's a level of vulnerability.
Yeah. And again, I think we're all just people trying to do better for our families and life. And you know what I mean? Like we all have goals and visions and dreams. And some of us are making a mess of it and executing and putting one foot in front of the other every day. And some aren't, and I'm like, I'm just going to step forward a little bit every day kind of guy. And I share that. And I'm not afraid to make mistakes and mess things up. And it bothers me some, but I see it as opportunity, and again, for me, I just wanted that, dude. So I put myself in environments to be able to do that. And then it started, 10 years ago or so, just speaking at the office. I'm just another sales guy in the room. And I'm like, they're like, will you share? I'm like, yeah, 100%. I'll get up there. Who cares? First time I spoke in front of a crowd, dude, was in the summer of 2015. And I had to have the guy who was training me, my mentor, I'm like, I'll do it, but I need you in front of the room with me and you ask me questions and I'll answer them. I can't just speak. I don't even know what to say, bro. So he came up and he'd ask questions. I'd answer him. And I was nervous as all get out. And they were like, 20 of my buddies and friends, coworkers selling, you know what I mean? I was like shaking in my boots. And now just walk on stage and let it rip. But there was a lot of reps over time, and I just, again, for me, it's like, if you want that, go get it.
Put in the work, though, I think is the key element that I hear when you talk through. I can hear it from your heart and your passion is like, go and do it and mess it up and fail and have a mentor ask you questions the first time and then look at the video and then get better and practice. Like, we do this right now for a speech. It's the same thing for our first and our 50th or our 500th, you know? 100%. And like, I was talking to someone yesterday. They were like, how's the TED Talk coming? And I'm like, dude, I'm stressing out.
100%. I'm trying to figure out that thing. I Googled it. I swear to God, dude, I Googled it last week. I'm like, what is a TED Talk? And I started researching it because I've seen them, but I don't really know. And I'm like, I want one of those.
It's a whole world that, you know, because I have confidence, right? Like, I came into it. I'm like, all right, I this is going to be good. But I've never done a speech like that. What I realized last week, shout out Amanda Banks, who was on a call with me, helping and coaching me through my speech. And she was like, you're using a lot of big words. And I was like, well, what I realized was when I do a speech, I don't write a full speech.
Yeah.
Because I end up overcomplicating and using words that aren't common conversations, right? And like what I realized in that moment was for this, because it's got to be 18 minutes or less, it's got to be memorized. That I wrote that talk, the opposite of every talk I've ever written.
Yeah, it's gonna feel different.
And I needed to do some more work on it, right? Like, because I was like, this isn't me. Because I usually take components and I break it down into 4, and I memorize those frameworks and components and the stories. And I flush through the stories. I tell the stories. I practice them. I minimize them. Usually they're long and winded because I like to talk. And I have those structures. Well, I didn't write this that way. I just wrote it and edited it for like 7 weeks straight. And it's not Jim. It's not me.
Yeah.
Content's fire, but it doesn't flow like me. So
good.
I'm in that mode right now, man, ripping it up and starting from scratch, you know?
That what I've always told people, dude, is that journey doesn't ever end.
No.
Because the next thing you try to do, you're not going to know how to do either. You know what I mean? It's like, you just gotta be okay failing, bro. You know, I had that big, I don't even know why I'm telling this, but I will. I had that big hike event this week.
Yep.
I was telling you about. So I just got back from Canada last night. And I went in there with so much confidence, dude. I've been working out, prepping, and doing the whole thing. And I do this. You got to hike. It's like 32 miles like this uphill.
Yep.
Eight times hike this mountain. That's like 4,000 feet high. And my goal was 6 the first day. So I only had to do 2 the second day. I didn't make it. I did 5. But it took me till 2:30. I started at 6 a.m. Took me till 2:30 in the morning. So 21 whatever hours straight to get 5 hikes is 20 miles, 20,000 feet in elevation. Dude, pouring rain for 20 hours. My style is like, I'll be all right. I'll just work out a bunch and I'll get there. You know what I mean? I'll do the work and all good. I'll just keep walking. Well, it rained. It was cold. It's 40 degrees, pouring down weather. I didn't prep for it all the right way. Elevation's messed up.
Yep.
Dude, I get back to my room at 2:30 in the morning. I'm wore out, soaked, changed a bunch. And dude, I'm buried mentally.
Yep.
Buried, bro. I'm doing the math in my head, how to get to the next 3. And I'm like, dude, I can't do it. I don't think I can do it. I shower, I get changed, I get dressed again to go back out. It's 3 in the morning. I open the door, buckets down rain. I'm like, I can't do it, dude. So I'm telling him, I'm like, I'm going to sleep. And she's like, do you want me to set an alarm? You can get up in a couple hours and get back at it. And I'm like, if I wake up, I'll wake up. And I didn't wake up in time. And then I didn't have the time to finish. And dude, for 2 days, I've regretted, like, God, I was weak mentally in that moment. You know what I mean? And I've thought about it nonstop. And I'm like, all right, I messed up. I didn't prep the right way. I didn't plan the right way. I didn't figure out time. There's a lot of things I didn't do.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, I got to do it again next year now. But I'm going to think about it nonstop and like how to get better for me.
Yeah.
Personally, physically. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm pissed I failed.
The great
dude, it's such like motivation for me to get better.
Yeah. The great thing, that's what I was just going to say. The great thing that I heard in that conversation was just I'm working on it already. Like I'm thinking about it already. Right. And that's okay. Like it sucks, right? You're like shaking your head. You're like, damn it, John, I should have just did it. But the reality of it is you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't in the time frame you wanted. But it's those little moments, right? And like we all have them.
Correct.
You know, I was supposed to make some calls before this, and I was on a call with a buddy, and it went 40 minutes. It was supposed to go 10, and I didn't make 30 minutes of phone calls. Like
it's every day, dude.
I
think people miss that. You know what I mean? It's like they see it. It's like, oh, you're great at everything. I'm like, dude, I quit on myself in a moment of weakness 2 days ago. Yet I'll still get on stage and talk about leadership. Like it is what it is.
But you're a human. And
correct.
This is, I mean, I'm just gonna throw a dart here. This is the shit that pisses me off with speakers is they go on the stage and they don't talk about the reality, and then you become friends with them or you experience something that they do and they like roll over it instead of being vulnerable. And it's like, dude, I saw that. I was right next to you. Like you didn't do what you said, or you didn't do that, or you did. And that's okay. Right. Like I'm not saying this to shit on anybody. I'm saying it's okay. It's okay. What's not okay is fronting like you're perfect. That's what pisses me off, you know? And I used to be that guy, right? I used to try to say I'm great and I'm perfect and everything's held together. And it's like, it's just fake. You know, and I think that's true. Fake. It's true leadership is like, go tell your team the truth, man. Go tell them so they learn from you, from your mistakes. Like, go spend the time having the conversation and being vulnerable to build a deeper human connection with that person, right? And then that person can come to you in times of need and help. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I think when we pretend to be this perfectness and this, I'm amazing and I don't mess up, you don't get that. You actually don't get the reciprocation of people coming to you with vulnerability and honesty and truth. And then you wonder why you feel lonesome. You wonder why things don't feel as good, but yet your bank account's huge and you're doing this and that. And it's like, well, it kind of comes back to how you lead yourself, you know? So all in that, my little riff and rant, I want to say I appreciate you for the honesty, man. Like, for sharing that, right? We're on a live right now. Who knows who's going to see that? But you're telling the truth. Like that's leadership, man. To me, that's true leadership.
Yeah, I remember when we were there in advance, there were some speakers talking about they were talking about how hard it's going to be. And one of the guys that led it, he's like a crazy endurance athlete, and he was explaining they call it DNF, like did not finish. He said, I did it one time and someone asked why. And he's like, here's the things that I did wrong. And one of the biggest things he said, he goes, I have a rule that I didn't follow. And it was don't quit by yourself. Right? Like be with someone, have a partner, have a coach. Like if you're feeling down, reach out to someone and that will like smack you around and be like, dude, suck it up, buttercup. You got this.
Yeah.
And I was like, interesting. And in that moment, I was like going up this mountain 2:30 in the morning. Dude, I'm with 10, 15 people, all on the same pace as me. We're all on lap 5. I could have been like, yo, what time you want to start tomorrow?
You could have stayed to myself. Relationship.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I didn't do that. Hell, I walked down the hallway with another guy.
Well, I think you're talking about we'll let ourselves down, but we won't let others down.
Yes.
And even
and I would never do that in business.
The stranger next to you.
Correct.
You won't
in business. I'd have been like, yo, hey, we got this going. I'm thinking this way. I'm feeling this. Hey, bro, help me out. That's normal in business world. But sometimes in personal, I'm like, damn, I got to listen to my own training sometimes.
For sure.
You know?
But that's the beauty in what we teach is we're learning and growing too. And I think that's where, you know, for me, at least, the more that I teach it, the more role plays, workshops, network, not normal event in a couple weeks, like helping people foster deep relationships, you know, doing some of these community webinars and podcasts, like it allows me to interact with someone who needs help, but in turn, how I advise actually helps me too with what I need in the moment.
100%.
It's like this thing of beauty, you know, and then you're like, and I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah, I love it.
Know?
You know, it's intentionality, man. You know, and we all can, I think, get better at it every day and share things. And there's a lot that applies to both sides, you know.
Totally.
So,
well, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you joining us in a few weeks for Impact Effect, and I'm just fired up and excited to see how you facilitate that experience. I know you do a lot of workshops. I know you're still kind of putting together your facilitation, but I think it's going to be really cool to kind of see how you get folks to critically think and not just think through a lens of how you lived your life, but like a lens of how they can live their life, a lens of how they can take those skills, those situations, scenarios, stories, and have an effect on their life with them. Yeah. It's going to be really cool, man. I'm really excited. Really excited to have
for it too, dude. Looking forward to meeting everybody and hanging out and learning and being a student as well, bro, and contributing where I can. So I'm looking forward to it, dude.
And just so anybody listening, if they don't know, the cool thing about Impact Effect is all our speakers are going to be there for a majority of the day, spending time with the attendees, coaching, consulting, advising, taking your problems, situations, scenarios, and helping you work through them in real time. I think that's really unique about the size of the event and how we're doing it. And the cool thing, man, is just like John and other speakers that want to do that. They want to be there. They want to help. They want to give away free advice. Like we were on a call, I think about a month and a half ago, and one of the speakers was like, "Hey, can I just speak up? And this is how I feel about it. There's no levels in this room. I'm going to talk to everybody and I'm going to learn and hopefully advise them." And everybody kind of agreed to that. And that was just this moment of like amazing intentionality and alignment where everybody's like, let's pour into people. We're going to be there all day. They're going to be there all day. Yeah, there's a back room for speakers, but can I sit at the table with folks? Can you put me at a table? And one person was like, hey, make sure you don't just put me in VIP all day, like where I sit. I want to actually sit with everybody because I want to talk to them and help them. And I've done over 400. I've been involved in over 400 events, and I've never seen that. I've never had that. And I, quite honestly, being vulnerable, I've never created that until this year. Yeah. And I think it's a thing of beauty. And I'm just excited, man. So come see John Wetmore. He's going to crush it at Impact Effect. We've got another 11 speakers, some amazing MCs. We've got Jason Aldean's drummer doing a set right after lunch. Nice. Ranking and talking about leadership and in a different industry and how he is like the CEO and leads the band. Like, dude, it's just going to be such different, cool perspective. Yeah. And I'm excited, man. So thanks for being there with us, John. Thanks for jumping on today. I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to making impact with you, brother.
100%, bro. Look forward to it. We'll see you guys soon.
Man. See you later, brother.